Okay, so we can now finish our design by adding the tiny details. So if you have a wheel, a decorative wheel like this one, with a lot of tiny little dots, you can now use that wheel to add the dotting patterns. If you don't have a wheel like that, we can use our small ball tool to add them manually one by one. I like to add them one by one. I have more control over the shape of my line, especially when it comes to the smaller lines. But with the bigger ones, you can use the decorative wheel, and if you have a nice sturdy hand, you will press down and roll the wheel over. They best work for me in a straight line, so I'm not going to use the decorative wheel on the curvy lines. I'm going to use it on a straight line like these three lines. So I'm going to press down and then push the wheel while rotating into the curve, and it gives me a nice curvy pattern. Then I can do the next one. So I'm going to press down and turn while my wheel is moving, trying to do this in one motion. The last one here, press down, and I'm doing this on my semi-soft surface. I can also do this one, press down, and the central one, and the big one. There we go. So now I've got one more long curvy one here, so I'm going to try and do it with this one as well. Again, trying to do it in one motion, so I turn as my wheel moves. And then turn again. So I've got a curvy one here and a curvy one here, which I'm not comfortable doing with the decorative wheel, so I'm going to do those two freehand. So I'm going to use my ball and cup tool, and then I'm going to press in the dots freehand. Trying to keep my spacing even throughout. There's a small one here as well. I'm still working on my semi-soft surface, which gives me a little bit of a cushion. And I've got one more here. I'm going to add a couple of dots. There we go. So that's all of our dotted lines. Now we've got these little circles, which I'm going to use a scratching design on. So onto my hard surface, I'm going to draw in the little circles and I'm going to scratch them. So we're doing this on our hard surface. So it's just a little circle and then I scratch the inside. And then we flatten a little bit. Okay, and that's the last one. So I see that I missed some of the detail lines on my string of pearls. So I'm now just going to double check all of my details to make sure all of my little details are drawn in. So these detail lines are just from the front. There we go. So that's our last little bit of detail done. Okay, so now we can continue with our last embossing part. So I would like to get this star in a bit of a shape of a star. So I don't like it being just overall flat. So I want to lift up the ridges to the center. That's why I lightly drew in these lines. And then we're going to do our filling, and then we're going to come back to our patina and our cutting out.